Let's talk about equipment. I have a whole bunch of these paddles in my hand. I want to talk about a couple of them. Next is one of our sponsors. Yola is another paddle company that produces a pretty decent paddle. All paddles are playable to your standard or to whatever your feels. I like Head because that's another one of our sponsors. This is one of our beginner paddles. And you're going to see the texture. And this is one of our higher end paddles. This is my preferred, the gravity paddle. I upgraded from the radical style. This paddle here for me gives me a little bit more playability. I have a bigger sweet spot. It has the texture. I don't know how close you can get that, but the texture is something that when you're actually playing in some real hard games, you want to feel the ball. You want the ball to respond to where you want to. And for my preference, this is my personal choice, I prefer this Head gravity paddle. But again, there are probably 15 different types of companies that are out there that produces a paddle. You're going to find some that have a longer handle, if you will, like this Yola. This has a special custom made to actually pick up balls when you're done playing. You're going to find some that have an elongated head, if you will. Gives you a better playability to be able to touch the ball, to be able to get more control on the ball. I like a bigger sweet spot because, especially playing from a chair, I can't predict exactly where the ball is going to be, but I know when I put a paddle on it, my sweet spot is going to be there every time. So again, you got different selections, different brands to choose from. Again, our two, thank you Head Pickleball and Pen for allowing us to do this, use the paddle, as well as Next. You know, you guys are new online, so we thank you guys for coming on board. Again, we talked about safety. My buddy Gabe, he wears a size 15. Let's talk about the actual shoe. Again, because we're playing on a tennis court outdoor, you always want to get a tennis shoe, not just a regular CrossFit type of tennis shoe. This shoe here is a K-Swiss shoe. And the reason why I like this is because, not to be disrespectful, but the bottom, it's going to grip a little bit more. This is a hard rubber. When you actually start playing, you're going to find that some of the sole has a soft sole. What that means is once you play on this type of surface for a long time, you're going to wear out your sole real fast, especially if you're playing an indoor shoe on an outdoor court. The bottom of your sole is really going to get worn. So when you go and look for safety, as far as a safety shoe or a tennis shoe, you want to keep that stuff in mind. I wear a low cut shoe. There are some have a mid cut or a higher end or a high top that protects the ankle. Again, it's your preference to what your degree of safety and comfortability looks like as far as what you want to play in. But keep those types of things in mind when you actually start playing. The tennis shoe itself, it all depends where you're going to be playing, indoor or outdoor. Make sure your equipment is prepared for that type of surface. Before we start playing, let's talk about this chair, these types of chairs. This is an actual tennis chair. Again, if you look from a distance, look at how my camber or my wheels cant out. This is 16 degrees. There are some that are even further out. But when you're playing, you want to keep that in mind. This chair is very mobile, as you will see, compared to just a regular wheelchair for daily use and a motorized wheelchair. You can play with either, but this is going to be your safety. The biggest thing on that is this anti-tipping bar here. When I push off, if I didn't have this bar here, I can actually flip out of the chair, and I've seen it happen many times. So when you go and really start playing from a wheelchair position, keep that in mind. The camber or the cant of the wheels gives you mobility, and the safety part is the actual anti-tipping wheel in the back. Normally there will be one or two to allow you to make sure that you don't flip out of your chair. So again, the safety things that we talk about, particularly with this chair, some have seat belts on it. I prefer not having a seat belt. It's your preference. Your safety is what you make it. So talking about the chair, we want to use a tennis chair when we start playing. So again, we'll see you guys on the court. We're going to get saddled up real quick and have a great game.
We're going to talk about different types of pickleballs. So traditionally, It's personal preference of what you and your group, or you and the individuals you decide you want to play with, and whether it's rec play or group play. So you have an indoor ball, which is traditionally a ball that has 24 to 28 holes in it, and they're a lot larger than an outdoor ball, which has anywhere from 42 to, I believe, 48 holes, which are a lot smaller. So this ball is an outdoor ball. This is the Durfast 40, which is the official tour ball of the APP. And then this is an indoor ball made by Penn. So this is traditionally used for indoor settings, so inside a gymnasium, churches, wherever you decide to play. And this is an Onyx ball, which is an outdoor ball. It is a lot softer ball, more weather durable than the Durfast 40. There are some weather issues posed by when you play in cold weather environments, but the Onyx ball is a little softer ball. Typically, advanced players like to use the harder ball, and the more to use this ball, it is gives you a lot of issues with control and trying to make better shots, or harder shots, I guess, if you will. It's a little harder with the harder ball, but the Onyx ball is a little easier to use. So it's personal preference. There's probably 50, 60 other different varieties of pickleballs out there that you could use, but these are three that we have with us today. We're using the Durfast 40 for this video, so that's the balls that are in these in the spokes of our wheels of our chairs.